I pick up the phone as I am gathering my things to go to work. I have been at my friend's house for 20 minutes and spent most of it complaining about the logistics and bureaucracy of our American mental health care system. It is that system that's calling me. She tells me that she cannot help me in the way that I had hoped. I tell her that if you tell someone that they have an audio processing disorder, maybe it's best to give them something to look at along with the verbal relaying of that information. She takes no responsibility for my frustration, which only makes me more frustrated, drawing this conversation out so that even if I were to run every red light along the way, I am going to be late for work. I say goodbye to my friend and leave. I'm angry, I'm frustrated, and I hate being late. Timeliness is something that has been instilled on me since childhood. My mom used to say, and I'm sure still does, if you're going to be late for something, why bother showing up at all? I struggle with this. I have a tendency to arrive either 10 minutes early or 10 minutes late. I have a terrible habit of arriving late for plans with friends, picking up Laura an hour after I said I would. I try to arrive early to choir rehearsals and appointments, to dates and my own birthday party. Early is on time and on time is late. Late is fired. I show up to work having parked a half-mile away. I am sweating, I am frustrated, I am 15 minutes late, and I am crying. My manager asks if I'm okay, and I tell her that I just need a minute. I spent the next 5 in the break room trying to swallow my tears, with my coworkers asking incessantly, kindly, but incessantly, what's wrong. I try to answer without spilling my mess all over the chipped concrete floor. They are eating their lunch at 3 in the afternoon and did not plan on a meltdown dinner theater experience, but I am crying anyway, and I can't stop. I have been crying since the first time I watched The Wizard of Oz, not because I was sad or because I was happy, but because I looked at my mom and she was crying, and suddenly that was the only thing I could do. I have been crying since I got tagged out of sharks and minnows in the 1st grade. I once heard a boy say, "Let's tag Rachel next and get it out of the way." Get my crying, my emotions, the inconvenience of my existence out of the way. And, of course, I was crying again. I come out of the break room and I find my manager. She sees my still tear-stained face and the wobble in my lip and asks if I want to talk about it. Do I need a hug? Why? How do you see someone hanging off the side of a cliff by their fingernails and offer to give them a manicure? Pretty questions and simple answers do not fit into my paltry 4-hour workday. Where would you like me to be? But it's too late, and I'm crying again. I cry for my friends and for the babies in Sierra Leone whose mothers have died bringing them into the world. I cry over the idea of my own children and how much I will love them. I do not even know if I want children. I cry watching television. Carol tells Doug that she took the MCAT to prove to herself that she could. When was the last time I did anything to prove to myself that I could? Prove to my parents or my sister? Sure. Prove to myself? I spend my entire shift in our back-of house finding restock, putting clothes on wooden hangers and stacking candles in shopping baskets for my coworkers to place on the floor. I leave only once for 20 minutes when there is a line at the register. I ring up customers and try to focus on anything other than my life. As long as I'm thinking of the ordinary things I'm working on, my mind doesn't have time to wander to frustrated tears. It is less the actual situation that is making me emotional, but more how I still haven't had time to process what's been told to me. A week later, after exchanging 2 emails with the supervisor of the woman who called me, I finally have what I've been looking for. The paperwork that confirms a diagnosis. Not the one that I wanted, but a diagnosis nonetheless. I am exhausted, but I have stopped crying.
You'll never know just how much I love you. You'll never know just how much I care. And if I try, I still couldn't hide my love for you. You ought to know, for haven't I told you so a million or more times? You went away and my heart went with you. I speak your name in my every prayer. If there is some other way to prove that I love you, I swear